Hello students, welcome back to your science class. Today we will study our chapter number 17. It is for 8th class. Chapter number 17 name is Stars and the Solar System. So for today in this chapter we will study the moon, phases of the moon, the stars, the solar system, the sun, planets. So let's start our chapter. Have you ever seen the sky after the sunset? You find many jewel-like objects twinkling in the sky. These are the stars. There are some other star-like objects that appear larger than the rest, but they do not flicker or twinkle. These objects appear to cross the sky from east to west during the night. They are called the planets. Apart from the stars, planets and their satellites, we can sometimes see comets, asteroids, shooting stars, etc. The vast space, which includes everything that exists on the earth or around it, is called the universe. So what was the universe? Universe is the vast space which includes everything that exists on the earth or around it. It is called as universe. The universe includes the celestial or heavenly bodies like the stars, the planets and their satellites, meteors, comets and asteroids. The branch of science that deals with the study of heavenly bodies is called astronomy. People who study about the universe are called astronomers. Our next topic is the moon. The celestial body revolving around a planet is called a satellite. All the planets except Mercury and Venus have natural satellites. The moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. So the highlighted point is the moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. The Earth's moon is the brightest object in the night sky. The moon has no light of its own. The silvery moonlight has inspired many poets and painters is the light from the sun that is reflected by the moon's surface. Because the moon is nearer to the earth, it appears to be much bigger than the stars. Actually, all the stars and planets are much bigger than the moon. So, let's study some characteristics of the moon. First characteristic is distance of the moon from the earth. The distance of the moon from the earth is nearly about 3,84,400 kilometers. Next up we have time taken by the moon to complete one revolution around the earth is 27 days 8 hours, means 27.3 days. Next up we have moon's diameter, about 3,475 kilometers, a little more than 1/4 of the earth's size. Fourth point is moon's surface. It is made up of mountains and craters. In figure 17.1 you can see the moon surface. These are the whole surfaces on the moon surface are known as craters. Craters are saucer-shaped holes formed when asteroids and comets from the space hit the moon's surface. There are many steep and high mountains on the surface of the moon. Fifth point is moon's atmosphere. The moon has no air and hence no atmosphere. Since sounds need air to travel and moon has no air, so you cannot hear any sound on the moon. Sixth point is life on the moon. No life exists on the moon because of the absence of atmosphere. Seventh point is surface temperature during lunar day is 123 degrees Celsius. Eighth point is surface temperature during lunar night is minus 233 degrees Celsius. Our next topic is two sides of the moon. It is true that we never see the back side of the moon from the earth because the moon rotates about its axis in about the same time that it takes to orbit the earth. This results in the same phase turned towards the earth at all the times. The side of the moon that faces the earth is called the near side and the opposite side is called the far side. Next topic is phases of the moon. The moon revolves around the earth. The earth along with the moon, as shown in figure 17.2, also revolves around the sun. The moon reflects sunlight falling on it towards the earth. In figure 17.2, you can see earth accompanied by the moon revolving around the sun. You see different portions of the sunlit surfaces of the moon from the earth depending upon the relative positions of the sun, the moon and the earth. Thus, sometimes you see almost no face of the moon called new moon. Sometimes you see the half of the moon and sometimes the whole circular face of the moon. It's called as full moon. The day-to-day changes in the shape of the moon as seen from the earth are called the phases of the earth. In figure 17.3, you can see the different positions of the moon in its orbit and its corresponding phases. In activity number 1, we have studied that a ball and a paint. In this activity, you saw that the moon appears at different positions in its orbit. Let's see how the moon appears in the sky every day. First is new moon. When the moon is in between the earth and the sun, then the side of the moon lit by the sun is away from the earth and the side of the moon that is towards the earth is dark. In this position, you do not see the moon at all. This is called the new moon. In figure number 17.5, you can see that the new moon night is also called Amavasya. Since you cannot see the moon at all on the new moonlight Amavasya, it is very dark, having no moonlight at all. Next we have waxing crescent moon. As the moon moves in its orbit around the earth from position 1 to 2, in figure number 17.3, you can see that. You can see a small sunlit portion of the moon's surface. This is called crescent moon. The increasing size of the lightened part of the moon is called the waxing. Next up we have first quarter. As the moon moves further from position number 2 to position number 3, the sunlit portion of the moon facing the earth becomes bigger. Within a week, you see half of the moon. It is called the first quarter. In figure number 17.7, third part, you can see the first quarter. Next up we have waxing gibbous moon. As the moon moves further from position number 3 to position number 4, you see more than the half of the moon. It is called the gibbous moon. Next is full moon. After 2 weeks time, the moon reaches in position number 5, that is on the side of the earth farthest from the sun. In this position, the whole sunlight side of the moon is towards the earth. So you can see the full moon. The moon is round and beautiful. In this position, it is called full moon. The full moon night is also called Purnima. The full moon night is very bright because you have the maximum moonlight on that night. Next is waning moon. After full moon night, the sunlit portion of moon facing the earth becomes smaller and smaller. This decreasing size of lightened part of the moon is called waning. After the full moon, during waning, you see waning gibbous moon, the third quarter and the waning crescent moon. In figure number 17.10, you can see the waning moon. Ultimately, the moon completes the revolution around the earth and you cannot see the moon. So, this was the new moon. The increasing and decreasing size of the lightened part of the moon as the moon revolves around the earth are called the phases of the moon. During a month, you can see one new moon and one full moon. The time period between the one full moon and the next full moon is actually 29.5 days. In the moon based calendars, this period of 29.5 days is taken as a month. Phases of the moon play an important role in our social life. In India, many festivals are celebrated according to the phases of the moon. For example, Diwali is celebrated on the new moon day, means on the Amavasya day. Mahashivratri is celebrated on the 30th night of the waning moon. Buddha Purnima and the birthday of Guru Nanak are celebrated on full moon night, and Eid ul Fitr is observed on the day following the sight of the crescent moon. Our next topic is the stars. We see many tiny stars in the sky at night. These stars are actually bigger than the earth. These are only visible during the night. During the day, we cannot see the stars due to the bright sunlight. A star is a huge ball of glowing gases held together by gravity. Stars consist of hydrogen and helium gases. The heat and light of a star is generated by nuclear reactions in which hydrogen changes into helium. From the earth, the stars appear to be very close to one another, but in reality they are very far away from one another. When you stand in the middle of a room and rotate, you find that the objects in the room appear to move in the direction opposite to your motion. Similarly, all the stars appear to move from the east to the west because our earth rotates about its axis from the west to east. It is for the same reason the sun appears to rise in the east and set in the west. Our next topic is the solar system. The solar system consists of the sun, the 8 planets and their satellites, and thousands of other small heavenly bodies such as asteroids, comets and meteors. The sun is at the center of the solar system and all these celestial bodies revolve around it. The sun holds them together by its strong gravitational pull. In other words, the gravitational attraction between the sun and these celestial bodies keeps them revolving around it. In figure number 17.11, you can see the solar system with 8 planet satellites and satellites. The 8 planets in their order of distance from the sun are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. You can remember this order as my very efficient maid just served us noodles, or you may also remember MVEMJ sun. MVEMJ sun. In our next video, we will continue our remaining portions of the chapter. Till then, thank you. Bye.